The city was waking up. Cars hummed, horns echoed, and people rushed toward glass towers that scraped the sky. Inside one of those towers, the gleaming, silver building of Harrison Enterprises, the biggest interview of the year was about to begin. But miles away, in a tiny one-room apartment with peeling paint and a flickering light bulb, a different kind of morning had started. Lena Brooks, a single mother of two, sat at the small kitchen table, holding her head in her hands. Her face was pale, her breathing shallow. The clock read 7:42 a.m., and her interview, the one she had waited months for, was at 9. Her daughter, Emma, barely 8 years old, stood in the doorway, holding her school backpack and watching her mother try not to cry. "Mommy, are you okay?" Emma asked softly. Lena forced a smile. "I'm fine, sweetheart. Mommy just needs a minute." But she wasn't fine. She hadn't been for months. The pneumonia had come back worse than before. She'd been working cleaning jobs at night and applying for secretarial positions by day, all to keep food on the table. This interview was supposed to change everything. But now, she could barely stand. Her trembling hand reached for her phone, but before she could dial to cancel, Emma stepped closer. "Mommy, I'll go for you." Lena blinked, half delirious. "What?" Emma's chin lifted in stubborn determination. "I'll go to your interview. I'll tell them you're sick." Lena laughed weakly. "Oh, baby, that's not how it works. Grown-ups go to interviews." But Emma's eyes didn't waver. "I know, but you said we never give up. You said we always try." There was silence, then tears. Lena hugged her little girl tight. "You're my brave one," she whispered. And somehow, an hour later, as her mother lay resting under a blanket, Emma put on her nicest dress, a faded floral one from the thrift store, brushed her hair neatly, packed a folder of her mom's resumes, and walked out the door. 9:05 a.m. The lobby of Harrison Enterprises was a cathedral of glass and marble. The receptionist stared in confusion as a tiny girl approached the front desk clutching papers. "I'm here for the interview," Emma said softly. The receptionist blinked. "Sweetheart, are you lost?" Emma shook her head. "No, ma'am, my mommy's name is Lena Brooks. She was supposed to be here. But she's sick, so I came instead." A few heads turned. A couple of employees paused mid-step. Nobody knew what to say. After a moment, the receptionist made a call, and within minutes, word reached the top floor. James Harrison, the 45-year-old CEO of the billion-dollar company, was known for being ruthless and impatient. He'd built an empire from scratch, but he'd also lost touch with something along the way: warmth. When his assistant entered the office, she said nervously, "Sir, there's a little girl here for the 9 o'clock interview." He frowned. "A what?" "She says her mother's sick, and she came in her place." James sighed. "This is ridiculous. Send her home." But something in his assistant's tone made him pause. "She's different, sir. You might want to see this yourself." A few minutes later, the elevator doors opened on the top floor. Emma stepped out, small and fragile, dwarfed by glass walls and city views. She held her mother's folder close to her chest. James looked up from behind his massive oak desk. "So," he said, clearing his throat, "you're here for the interview?" Emma nodded. "Yes, sir. My mommy's really sick, but she wanted this job so much. I didn't want you to think she gave up." For a moment, he didn't know how to respond. The board members sitting nearby exchanged glances, unsure whether to laugh or cry. He leaned back. "And what makes you think your mother would be good for this job?" Emma placed the folder on his desk and opened it carefully. Inside were neatly typed resumes, letters of recommendation, and a photo of Lena with her 2 children. "She works hard," Emma said, her voice trembling. "Even when she's tired, she still smiles. She says people who need help deserve kindness, not judgment. And she never forgets to pack our lunches, even when she doesn't eat herself." The room went silent. James stared at the photo. A young woman, bright-eyed but weary, smiling with her arms around 2 kids. There was something in her eyes he recognized. Hunger, fight, pride. His throat tightened. He remembered his own mother, cleaning houses after his father left, too proud to ask for help. He pushed his chair back. "Emma," he said quietly, "thank you for coming." She nodded, picking up the folder. "Can you please give Mommy a chance when she gets better? She really needs this." Before he could answer, she turned and walked out, small steps echoing down the marble hall. The silence lingered long after she left. Finally, One board member whispered, "Sir, what should we do?" James stood, his eyes still fixed on the door. "Reschedule her interview. Tomorrow." "But sir," another said, "she might still be sick." "Then I'll go to her." That evening, a knock echoed through the small apartment. Lena, still weak and wrapped in a blanket, opened the door, and froze. Standing there, holding flowers in an envelope, was the CEO himself. "Mrs. Brooks," he said with a warm smile, "your daughter gave quite the interview." Lena's eyes filled with tears. "Oh no, I'm so sorry, Mr. Harrison. I never meant for." He raised a hand. "Don't apologize. That little girl showed more courage and loyalty than most adults I've met. You raised her well." He handed her the envelope. "You start Monday. Full salary, benefits, work from home until you're fully recovered." Lena gasped, covering her mouth. I don't know what to say." James smiled faintly. "Just thank your daughter. She reminded me what real strength looks like." Later that night, Emma crawled into bed beside her mother. "Did I do okay, Mommy?" Lena kissed her forehead, tears falling onto her cheeks. "You did more than okay, sweetheart. You changed our lives." Emma smiled sleepily. "Then you can rest now, Mommy. You don't have to worry anymore." Outside, the city lights sparkled, not cold and distant anymore, but warm and alive. A week later, Lena started her new job. Every morning, she and Emma would walk hand in hand past the same glass towers. Employees at Harrison Enterprises would smile and wave at the little girl who once came to an interview alone. And on the CEO's desk, among the awards and trophies, sat a small crayon drawing Emma had made, of her mother smiling at a desk, and a little girl beside her holding a flower. At the bottom, in shaky handwriting, were the words, "Thank you for believing in my mommy." Because sometimes, it doesn't take power, money, or status to change a life. Sometimes, it just takes a little girl's courage, and a man's decision to listen. Soft piano music fades. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because one small act of kindness can rewrite someone's entire story. Tulip.